I plan on stopping it going into the fight.
Intergalactic Boxing. Subscribe and jab.
Those eyes of Crawford lock in now. The eyes of a skilled hunter. We've seen it time and again. And for years we've watched Terence focus in and finish off opponents. Yet over that span, folks, you know there have been the elusive big-name targets. The man opposite him on the right of your screen, Shawn Porter, he doesn't care that Bud is supposedly just too dangerous. He doesn't care about promotional adherence. He cares about this challenge and the legacy. Can Porter pull it off, or will this be Crawford's statement night? We find out right now. We are underway for the welterweight championship, and Porter comes right out. Stepped right to Terence Crawford and threw a combination.
As we thought he would.
Andre Ward and Tim Bradley with me. Joe Tessitore ringside here in Vegas. Andre, there's a distinct work rate pattern to Terence Crawford in welterweight title defenses. He's economical early. He averages 28 punches thrown in the first round of those fights. That's a low number. It's half the usual welterweight output. Do you believe that makes for a grand opportunity for Shawn Porter if he's too economical?
It can, but that's who Terence Crawford is. He's not going to change tonight unless he's forced to change by Shawn Porter. Terence likes 2 or 3 rounds to get his game plan, gauge distance and range, and understand what he wants to do. It's to Shawn Porter's advantage to press the issue and not allow Crawford to do that.
I like what Porter's doing now. He's marching forward, but he's changing his rhythm, changing slots, moving his head, coming behind the double jab. And when he gets close, he's letting his hands go.
No punch, no punch, no punch. I got it. Turn around, turn around. Box.
And if Porter can steal some early rounds, it creates a sense of urgency in Crawford, which may draw him into a fight instead of a boxing match.
Wait, fight out there, fight out there. Stop, break, step back.
This is what's called controlled aggression by Shawn Porter. Not reckless, controlled. Coming behind the jab, staying disciplined, keeping his balance, not lunging forward, inching closer and closer to Crawford.
Crawford kept his composure this whole round. Didn't seem rattled at all, didn't seem wide-eyed. He's fought in front of big crowds before. He knew Shawn Porter would come forward. It was no surprise to Terence Crawford.
Crawford right now, he's calculating the speed, the distance for Shawn Porter. He felt the power already. But that nervous energy right there, look at how Porter smart. Step back. Didn't want to crowd Terence Crawford.
And even below the numbers that we detailed. Show you some of the celebs and sports personalities who made their way in. Frank Thomas. Josh Taylor's the undisputed 140-pound champion. He's a dynamic force in the fight game right now. Maurice Hooker, recent champion, has put forth some great efforts and entertaining fights. One of the greats from the last generation, Fernando Vargas, seated ringside for this welterweight championship fight. And the next great one, according to most, now 2-division world champion, Shakur Stevenson, and the man that he defeated to take the 130-pound title, the Fighting Marine, Jamel Herring, who served our country admirably for 9 years, and then the former undisputed junior middleweight champion, Winky Wright. Floyd Mayweather's dad, Floyd Sr., always a fixture in the Vegas fight scenes. Round number 2. In that first round, Shawn Porter landed 6 of 29. Crawford landed 3 of 15.
I think that's exactly where Porter wants to be. Not the whole fight, but certainly in spots to hit the body of Terence Crawford to try to slow him down and to cause him to get uncomfortable early in this fight where he starts to press.
But you can see the patience also from Porter. He's just not rushing in there. He's thinking before he makes any move.
Well, he has to with a guy that can hit and has timing and quickness like Terence Crawford. Things can get ugly quick.
Tried to catch him with that check hook from that southpaw stance, did Crawford, as Porter came forward that time.
Porter's fought a lot of different styles, but he's never fought a lot of different styles in one man. And that's who he's facing tonight. He's facing a southpaw, a guy who fights left-handed, an orthodox fighter, a guy who can box and a guy who can fight, and a guy who can hit. Good shot right there from Shawn Porter.
Shawn Porter responds with the right hand after Crawford threw the right hook.
Those are the surprising combinations that Porter is great at doing. Doesn't matter what position he's in, you got to be cautious and be ready every time he comes in.
Don't punch, don't punch, step back. Box.
Right hook by Crawford right there got Porter's attention.
Sitting right on top of the orthodox fighter. Porter just able to get away from the uppercut. Good exchange on the inside. Good action here in round two. Crawford lands a right hand. Porter so willing.
Porter got the best of that.
Sure did.
Here come Bud.
Crawford trying to time that backhand for a moment.
I think boxing is slowly going out of the mind of Terence Crawford. He doesn't like getting hit flush. He doesn't like the reaction of the crowd, even though this is the pro Crawford crowd. He wants to get some get back. You see that in his eyes and in his demeanor right now.
To the body to finish off an entertaining second round.
Heavy exchanges in this round. Porter got his. Crawford got his. That shot right there to the chest may not seem like much, but that hurt. A sweeping left hand from Crawford and a beautiful timed right hook. Call it a check hook by Terence Crawford, and Shawn Porter took it well.
Thank you. Get him where you need him to be. Give me a first and second series of punches. Make sure when you decide to go hard, it's an advantage to you, okay? Don't just go hard just because he hit you or he touched you. You get touched with something, flow off of it into your head movement, hands up.
Come back up and get that inch well. You good? Starting to feel it? Okay, all right. Hey, don't get into a car fight with this motherfucker, all right? Just keep boxing.
Brian McIntyre, the trainer of Terence Crawford, said don't get into a firefight with Shawn Porter. Meanwhile, Kenny Porter, the trainer father of Shawn Porter, was giving his son advice in terms of how to react when Crawford does touch him. So both trainers want guys composed, collected, and sticking to the plan. That second round was something. Porter was 12 of 34. Crawford was 11 of 36.
Bomac is going to have to remind Terence Crawford often to not get into a firefight, but to box. Not sure if Crawford's going to listen.
You wonder what's slowing down Shawn Porter. It's the southpaw stance of Crawford. When he was in orthodox stance, Porter was able to land his jab and get inside. Now from the southpaw stance, he has to battle the lead hand of Terence. Porter's starting to lunge a tad bit when he comes behind his jab.
That's what Porter does when he gets over anxious and he starts to reach for a taller man, and that could be very dangerous against this guy, Terence Crawford.
Bud attempted right there the uppercut as Porter lunged forward. Terence is starting to find his rhythm. As soon as he starts landing his jab, he starts getting comfortable. Here comes the turn from Porter. As soon as Terence attacks, Porter's going to try to turn Terence into that corner. That's why he's sitting there. There it is.
Good eye, Tim.
Ooh. But it's coming.
To the body with the right hand goes Porter. Bud saying, you want some of that? You want that kind of exchange?
Yeah, he likes it.
It's over now. Bud is here. A fight about to break out now. There's a cut on the eye of Porter.
It looked like there may have been a clash of heads on that last exchange when both men came in. Remember, southpaw and orthodox, you can often get that angle where the head comes into play. So there is blood now around the right eye of Shawn Porter. That is not a knockdown.
Doesn't look like much, but Porter had to pick himself off the canvas. That takes some of the energy.
Now they're wrestling against the ropes. And they're jawing right through it. And Terence is playing into it.
Stay focused, huh? Headbutt. We got a headbutt, man. Yo, ref. We gotta clash your heads.
I called a really accidental headbutt.
Thank you.
Watch your feet, man.
Southpaw versus orthodox.
There it is.
There it is. Terence coming inside. Beautiful uppercut in the inside by Shawn Porter.
Hey guys, watch your feet, all right?
And then here's the moment where they tie up and Porter went falling down. And then the end of the round. Yeah, sure, they've been friends since the amateur circuit.
It's a fight.
It's a fight.